Thank God it's the weekend. I can rest, you can rest. Take that time and rejuvenate. Spend that quiet time with yourself and with your Lord so that He can refresh you for another week. Now we're still talking and looking about Jesus and the love that He has in our heart, in His heart, and in our hearts, hopefully. Hopefully He's placing that love in our hearts as His love abounds towards us, that we're taking it in. But we're going to look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And I'll go ahead and read it. Thank God, I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become a sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burnt, but have not love, it profits me nothing. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. But whether there are prophecies, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part will be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see in the mirror, dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I also am known. And now abide faith, hope, love. These three, but the greatest of these is love. This is the template we can use to develop our love. We're talking about treasuring good things in our hearts. And that love is that good thing that we want to treasure, just like Jesus did. Suffer long, be kind, do not envy, don't be prideful and puffed up, don't be arrogant, don't be rude, don't provoke others. Think no evil, think about what you're thinking about. All of these things the word is telling us to do. And as we practice this word, we would realize that if there's any evil treasure in our hearts, limiting us and preventing us from loving, it would be removed. I have a brief demonstration for you. I hope that it magnifies this thought process a little more for you. This is a demonstration, and I hope that it resonates with us to remind us to examine our hearts and to rid our hearts of any evil treasure and take in good treasure, the good treasure of love, the love that Jesus demonstrated to us. So if this glass is our heart and this liquid in here represents the evil treasure, when we read the word and we obey the word and we practice that love as demonstrated or explained in 1 Corinthians 13, this is eventually what would happen. So if this is God and the word of God and you're obeying Him and you're pouring that in each and every day, the more you pour it in, the more that treasure of evil, that evil treasure will leave your life. It will dissipate from your life eventually. As you read the word and it's telling you to love your neighbor, to love those who despitefully use you, to love those who are not kind to you, not to take revenge at all on anyone, the more and more you practice that, the more and more you're ridding your life of that evil treasure, and you're now taking in that good treasure, that love of God. And it happens, it's a process. It takes time. And even that sometimes you may come to this point, you see it's not as dark anymore, but it still has a hint. So it means that yes, the love is there and the love is taking over, but you still have a hint of that evil treasure. Don't stop. Continue to pour in the love of God. Pour in that love of God. You continue to pour in more and more. I know it may be hard because other persons around you, they're not living right. They're not doing the right thing. And you are experiencing the results of it. You're having to make sacrifice. You're loving people who are not loving you back. It will happen. But continue to pour in the love of God. Continue to love them. Continue to obey God. Continue to do what He calls you to do. Continue to relentlessly serve Him as you serve other people. Do not give up. And before you know it, your heart will be pure. It will be filled completely with the love of God. And that evil treasure that was once there would be no more. You would now have that agape love of God flowing from your heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Be encouraged to allow that good treasure into your heart by receiving the love of God first off, and by emulating that love that we learn about from Jesus Christ and allow it to change us. It starts with examining our hearts and seeing what needs to be transformed. God bless you. Have a good weekend.